G'day viewers, the end of another work week means it's time once again for a review of everything that's wrong with this world in Totally Fucked Up Friday. I'm going to start with a story that came out of Remembrance Day right here in Melbourne, where a caller to a conservative talkback radio station talked about how he was wearing a Remembrance Poppy on Remembrance Day at his workplace, and he was told he had to remove it because two people he worked with had complaints that they found it offensive because they considered it to be celebrating war, and he had to take it off. And he refused and said he actually got a formal citation warning put in his record at work. And yes, the talkback host thought that's bad, and it's on the blog for the website with all the commenters going, that's bad. And even one news outlet repeated it. Yahoo News, affiliated with Channel 7 here in Australia, repeated it as a news story. Now, the blog post on the radio station's website covering this is headed, "Say It Ain't So." Okay? It ain't so! I call bullshit! Now, I, as you know, have an extremely low opinion of people generally. I am more than willing to believe there are people in the world who'll say something as fucking stupid as, "Oh, wearing a Remembrance Poppy, that's celebrating war. I find that offensive." I know there are people that stupid in the world, but I'm being asked to believe that someone works with two people who'd make a formal complaint and their employer is so fucking stupid they'll go along with it and say, yeah, I'm going to punish you for wearing a Remembrance Poppy. Because the employer is too fucking stupid to know what a public response to that will be. And what makes me really fucking angry is not that some random fucking idiot makes up a lie and calls into a radio station and does it, but then it gets repeated as news. Oh, because someone said it, we can repeat it as news. Do you know what news used to be? News was something that was fucking investigated, that was independently verified. The fact that these fucking scumfucks will repeat something this inflammatory with no investigation. Oh, we're not saying who the employer is or even talking to them to protect our caller's anonymity. Bull fucking shit. You know it isn't true, but you just want to stick the knife in. Oh, it's political correctness gone mad. And you read the fucking drooling scum who comment on the website and the barely veiled fucking bigotry of, it's the fucking muzzies, it's not our country anymore, take back our country. Fuck you, you morons. There was only one commenter I saw that was switched on enough to go, bullshit. This is so patently not true. And in fact, I'll go one step further. If on the 1,000,000 to 1 chance this was actually true, this actually happened to this guy, his employer actually threatened him for wearing the poppy, the guy's a fucking loser. He's either the world's most obvious fucking liar or he's fucking pathetic. In my workplace, where I was wearing a Remembrance Poppy, if that had happened to me, I would be onto a lawyer so fucking quick and I would be suing them for creating a hostile work environment. Man, I'd never work another day in my life. I'd sue those fuckers to the end of the earth. But it's not true. See, when you see something that is obviously pushing a political barrow, and I know this is not limited to any political ideology. Rich, poor, left, right. Everyone makes shit up or exaggerates shit to prove their point. But when news outlets repeat unverified, anonymous rumours as news, that is fucked up. And it's time for the latest update of The Internet is Fucked. Now, a lot of people have been asking me about a proposed law in the US, SOPA, the Stop Online Piracy Act, the much, much, much worse version of the previously attempted Protect IP Act. I have mentioned it before, but I think a few people missed it. In case you have missed me talking about it before, summary, worst internet law ever. Let me very briefly summarise what this is talking about introducing. And yes, this is being introduced in the US, but the two reasons I'm upset about this is The US controls the majority of the world's internet traffic, and copyright laws that get introduced in the US, there's a very big push to introduce them everywhere. Here's the summary. Point 1. If the government decides you've breached the SOPA Act, they are in a position to force search engine, DNS providers, servers, payment processors and advertisers to stop doing business with the website. In other words, it gets blanked from existence. Even if you want to argue, oh, it will still be available somewhere else, they won't be able to make any money from the website. So if you piss off the US government, you are fucked. Hi WikiLeaks, how you going? Point 2, private companies are encouraged to go much further than they currently do with the DMCA. At the moment, they launch takedown notices, which everyone complains about on YouTube, for good reason. A lot of them are done very badly. But now the private companies are encouraged to send a similar takedown notice to payment providers. So it's not just the government going after WikiLeaks telling Visa and MasterCard stop processing payments for them. A private company can say, that site there is infringing our copyright, and they go to Visa and MasterCard and say, stop processing payments on that site until they take that down. And Visa and MasterCard go, yes. Oh, and the company that approaches Visa and MasterCard, they don't have to tell the end target that they've done it. So Visa and MasterCard will probably have a lot of this shit to process, and they're probably not going to worry too much about contacting you either. So yes, private companies can kill their competition this way. And finally, the payment processors themselves are encouraged to be proactive and cut off people they think might be in breach of the SOPA Act. Cut off your funding because they think. And that is what bugs me most of all. All of this is without due process. None of this happens after you've been taken to court and it's been proven that you broke the law. The accusation alone shuts down websites, gets them taken off the internet, puts them on blacklists. And the scum who are pushing this go, oh, don't call it a blacklist. Look, the word blacklist is nowhere in the policy, because it actually was in the Protect IP Act. It's just like, just because you are creating a blacklist that keeps people off the internet, they're saying it's not a blacklist if we don't use a blacklist. You people are fucking scum. The way they act in bad faith is what drives me the most crazy. If they really only went after commercial pirates, I'd have trouble arguing with them. But they don't. They're fucking liars if they say that's what they're doing. Warner has been caught out just recently going after a website that said had infringing content, and they've admitted they send takedown notices for content they haven't even seen. File names that are fairly obvious by their file name that they aren't Warner Brothers content. But Warner doesn't even check the content because they don't think they have to. Apart from the fact the DMCA explicitly says they have to act in good faith, they have no qualms about acting in bad faith because no one ever stops them. This is bullshit. It's like Viacom, the pioneers of this shit with their ridiculous lawsuit on YouTube. They've gone so far as to say the private video feature on YouTube should be illegal, because the only reason people would do that is if there's going to be infringing material that they don't want us to see. Apart from the fact the explicit reason that exists is like, you know, if you're putting up family stuff or stuff you don't want everyone to see, you just want to share it with specific people, Viacom says you should not have the legal right to any privacy just because they fucking say so. I will finish this rant with a one bright spot in that the Republican attempt to kill net neutrality in the US has been at least temporarily put down. The House control by the Republicans voted, oh yeah, let's let the phone companies and the cable companies do whatever the fuck they want. Basically strangle internet. Oh, YouTube's making too much money. Let's charge them more. Let's strangle it. Let's throttle all YouTube traffic. And the Senate has blocked it, and in fact the President's office has said the President would veto the same thing. So that's at least temporarily been shut down. And what pisses me off most about the way the Republicans act on that is the lie. I know, politicians generally lying, a shock, but their line is actually the direct opposite of what they're doing. They're saying, oh, we want to stop the FCC from crushing an open and free internet. Now, these fucking companies have explicitly said what they want to do is crush a free and open internet. They say, no, we want to be able to say you can't watch that, or you can watch that but it'll cost you more. We're going to throttle the speed on that. These companies are explicitly killing the internet, and these scumfuck politicians have the nerve to say the exact opposite. That shit is totally fucked up. And for the final story this week, we're going to West Virginia. I'm thinking all my West Virginia viewers are going, oh God, what's he going to do? What's he going to make us look like now? Yes, and I'm looking at you, Mac. I'm going to hold you personally responsible. Mac, who actually came up with Who Am I Not Giving a Fuck About Today, which became Wanga Fat Wednesdays in West Virginia. And yeah, I'm holding you personally responsible for this. I found this on The Smoking Gun, and their lead-in was, here's a line that's never been used in a police report before. You know that's gonna get good. And yes, it does. Now, the police have recounted a story from a motel in West Virginia where a woman was staying a few rooms up from her estranged husband, and she confronted him and wanted some sexual favours. The husband is there with his mate, and the wife's there, and they're all pretty drunk, and she basically says, "Someone eat my pussy." And I will add, when the cops found them, they're all really drunk, and she's naked from the waist down. So she says, "Someone eat my pussy." And the husband declines her kind offer, but his mate says yes. Special, we're in very special territory. Oh, and at this point, you probably want to know what the person naked from the waist down demanding someone eat her pussy looks like. Okay, so the other guy was either really drunk or really game. So he's gone for it, and he's actually recoiled when he gets closer, and I will read the words from the police report because of, let me see, it was the horrible vaginal odour emitting from the woman. So he's decided, hell yeah, I'm going to eat the pussy. He's got a bit closer, and the smell was so bad, he's gone, no I'm not. And at this point, and this is why the police got involved, she's pulled a knife and said, "Someone's gonna eat my pussy, I'm gonna cut your fucking throat." Oh my God. Okay, so I'm not suggesting that this happens everywhere, every night in West Virginia. But Mac, I'm saying this happens every night, everywhere in West Virginia. Now, the woman's ended up with a 90-day stay in jail for, pulling a knife on someone with her stanky pussy. I'm not sure if that would have been less if she had not used a knife or if she just used some soap.